Welcome to the Fitchburg Wellness Podcast. My name is Ellen Doust, and today we're going to be talking about mental health in middle school. And I'm here with 3 middle school students. Do you mind all introducing yourselves? We'll start with Maddie, go to Molly, and then Maeve. And could you just say what grade you're in?
My name's Madeline, and I'm in 7th grade.
I'm Molly, and I'm in 8th.
My name's Maeve, and I'm in 8th grade.
Excellent. So basically, as we were kind of like talking before, I think there's probably a lot to say about like the middle school experience and how your mental health is affected just by a lot of different things. But I guess I'm just curious to hear all of your opinions on how do you like middle school so far and why or why not? You want to start with Maddie?
I don't really like middle school. It's just like so much harder than elementary school, and all the people are just like worse. It's just not the same. I just don't like it. And the teachers are not great.
Yeah, I agree with Maddie. I don't really like middle school that much, but I feel like 8th grade has been easier than like 7th and 6th grade. And the teachers like treat you differently, and it like makes you feel like you have to like work harder, I guess.
I have mixed opinions. Like some of it's good and some of it is bad. Like, and the teachers are kind of awful.
Yeah.
For the most part. Some of them are good, but most of them. And like they assign a lot of work and expect us to keep up with all of it in the homework. It's just hours of constant work, and like we never get a break.
What do you feel like makes the teachers awful? Or like what don't you like about them?
Some of my teachers just like kind of like just they don't know how to like teach. Like some of them just like they just think we can learn it all at home and just give us a bunch of homework and thinks that's what's gonna help us learn better instead of teaching us in the class.
Yeah, I agree. Like, they like give you work to do like at home and stuff, but like, and they think you understand it, but like you don't.
I think the teachers like at my school just like they don't really assign homework too much, but like sometimes they will. But it's more like in class they like assign us so many assignments, and like it's every teacher doing it and expect us to keep up with it, but then they aren't teaching it very well, and a lot of it is very confusing, and it's kind of hard to speak up sometimes because like the whole class is watching you and stuff, so it's like kind of embarrassing sometimes
Yeah,
to
I
speak
agree.
up when you don't understand anything.
I think that all makes sense. And like, I guess this is since now Molly and Maeve, you've been through 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Do you feel like it's progressively gotten better, progressively gotten worse, stayed the same? I know for me, like 6th grade was okay, 7th grade was horrible, but 8th grade, that was all right. What are your thoughts on that?
Personally, 6th grade, like they were all pretty mid years. Like there's always like good parts and bad parts. Personally, I like 7th grade the best. Like I really had like a lot of good teachers, and I had like a really good friend group. And it was like the year like that I started getting more friends, and that I started like just, So, and then 8th grade was pretty bad because like I just like my teachers, like I like my last year's teacher better.
Yeah, I think like as like you move up grades, like it gets better, but like the work gets worse and stuff. I think 8th grade has been the best year.
And so far, 6th grade, you're not digging it too much.
6th grade was like pretty bad just because my teachers, the work was pretty easy, and then 7th grade it's kind of a little bit harder, but it's not much harder so far.
Very interesting. And then I'm curious, like, what do you think is really the biggest impact for you all when thinking about whether you like school or not? Is it your friends? Is it your teachers? Is it just like the school itself? Like, what is the biggest what is the biggest thing that impacts whether you like school or not, you think? We'll start with Madeline.
Probably friends, because last year was like one of my favorite years, but my best friend moved away, and she doesn't go to my school this year, and like it's just a way worse year than it was last year.
Yeah, I think like friends is like the thing that like makes you come to school.
Yeah, I agree. Like, would never go to school if I didn't have my friends, like, in any of
Yeah.
my classes. It'd just be awful without them.
And how do you feel like, is it easy to make friends? Is it hard? Like, how do you remember making, like, the friends you have now, are they friends you've always had since elementary? Or, like, how do you go about making new friends in middle school?
I think it's like harder because I do have friends from middle school, but all my best friends are friends that I've known since kindergarten or even longer. But I have friends in middle school, but like no one I would invite over to my house or no one I would sit with at lunch. Just like kids in class, if like the teacher says work with partners, I would work with them. But like they're still not really good friends.
Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to make friends. Like just like trying to talk to people and stuff. Like I've had most of my friends since like 6th grade or elementary school, so I haven't really like had to make that much friends because I've already had them for the past years.
See, I only have like one friend that's like been consistent since elementary school, maybe two, and like I met most of my friends through like my other friends. Like I met a friend and then like they had like friends, and so I became friends with them. So like I've made most of my friends in middle school. I only have like one or two friends that I kept since elementary school.
Yeah, I feel like that was the biggest thing for me was like the friend group you had in middle school. That can really make or break whether you have like a good group of friends or ones that like there's also drama, I feel like, in like middle school more than any other time in your whole career of schooling. Which, yeah, do you feel like your middle school experience has been dramatic so far, Madeline?
A little bit, but like not as much. Like I think Maeve and Molly, when we talk, like they have definitely more stuff that goes on, especially Maeve, than what I do. But like, yeah, it is very dramatic and a lot of drama.
Yeah, I think there is kind of a lot of drama, but like it's not like that much, you know.
I think I have like a little bit of drama, but like not as much compared to other people. But like I think everyone has drama.
Definitely. It's part of life, no matter like what age you are, I think. It just feels heightened, I think, especially in the middle school years. And then one major difference for me between like my middle school experience and then what you guys are experiencing is that there wasn't the existence of social media. And that is something I wanted to ask you about. One, whether you're on social media, I guess, and then two, whether that like contributes to any sort of like feeling like dramatic or bad or good or anything like that.
Yeah, I have social media, but it doesn't really like affect me much. Like, but I know a lot of kids at my school get in trouble because they're like doing TikToks in the bathroom or like in class, and I've been sitting behind a lot of them, and it's just.
Yeah, I do have social media, but it hasn't really had a bad effect on me. I feel like it's like good, but I feel like school would be like much better without it. Like I kind of wish we didn't have it. I feel like it'd make things like more fun.
I agree with that. Social media, like she said, really hasn't had like a negative or a positive effect, but like it would be so much better. Like I think like kids are like personally like I'm addicted to my phone, and like I could never go hours without social media. Like I'm always checking my phone to see who's like texting me or anything like that, and like what's the latest TikTok, I guess you could say. But like I feel like it'd be better without social media.
Interesting. So is like TikTok the main one that you guys feel like you spend the most time on?
No, not really. I feel like sometimes I definitely try not to be on social media that much. I think mostly YouTube. I don't really use TikTok as much, like just to see like my friends and stuff, like what they're posting.
Yeah, same, but like mainly for me it's Snapchat. I use that most of the time.
Same. I say I use Snapchat and TikTok equally.
That's cool that you like are self-regulating your social media use. I feel like that is most like adults can't do that. So that's interesting that you have like that sense that I try not to go on it too much. Do your parents like check what you're doing on social media, or is it more like they kind of trust you? Or, like, how does that all operate?
Yeah, they can definitely trust us. They don't like check our social media at all. Like they don't really do anything.
Yeah, they trust us, but like we wouldn't do anything bad. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I wouldn't be doing anything bad, but like, they don't check mine, and I'm glad about that because like it's a sense of privacy.
That's crazy. They don't check it because there's like a ton of privacy settings like parents can do on your phone and stuff like that. That's really interesting. Well, also it just shows too that I guess like you all have your own sense of self and like perhaps maturity that they trust you all to not be doing like crazy stuff on there. Yeah, and that was interesting too, maybe that you were talking about like addiction to the phone because that is like spans across like birth now to like death is like I feel like there is definitely an addiction to screens. And how do you like does that how much time do you think you spend on a screen, and do you feel like that affects you at all throughout your day?
Like I don't really check my screen time, but I feel like it's good enough where I don't have to really be worried about it. Because a lot of times, like, I'll just sit there and, like, I can't sit on it for too long. And I know that about myself because, like, I'll get a headache. Or I'll just be like, I've been sitting all day. I need to do something productive, or I need to go outside, or I want to do something else.
I feel like I use it a lot. Like, my screen times, I think, is kind of pretty big. Like, right when I wake up, I go on my phone. Before I go to bed, I go on it. I feel like I'm on it, like, a lot.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think maybe my screen time might be bad. I think maybe 12 hours. I don't know. I haven't checked in a while. I use it a lot. Like Molly said, I use it like as soon as I get up. I go straight on TikTok in the morning. Like it just wakes me up.
Yeah.
But sometimes it like inspires me to do stuff. I guess you could say in a way. Like sometimes like
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, this person's cleaning your room. Like I want to clean my room. I want to have an organized room.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, oh, that inspired me to clean my room and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any of you are alone on that either. Like, that's something that I'm really attempting to work on is like, especially the bedtime thing, because especially as you get older, it's like harder to sleep sometimes. And if like I'm reading a book before I go to bed, that's a lot better than like looking at my phone. But I feel like, yeah, it's like the screen time eventually does have an effect on you, and you get to the point where you're like, oh man, I haven't like moved in a little bit. Like the place that I work, if I'm working on a computer for a long time, like they have the lights that automatically turn on and off, and like it's like I think it's like on a 45-minute like time frame. So like I know if I've been sitting like on the computer for too long and the lights go off, I'm like I have to move my body somewhat. And like in school for you all, is it when you're in the classroom, are they having you on computers a lot, or is it like still traditional like paper and pencil and pen and stuff?
It really depends what class. Most of my classes are like on computer like almost all the time. Math class, we still have workbooks. English is like all computer. Like we really do nothing on paper, but like it's mostly all computer.
Yeah, for me, it's like mostly computer, but I think they should change that because like at home, I'm on my phone most of the time, and then at school, I'm on a screen too. So I feel like it's like better to do on paper. You know?
I agree with that. Like my classes are half and half, but mostly like most of the day I'm on my computer, and like it's like the work on computer that I have to type it up. And I get it because like kids' handwriting be messy and stuff, but like honestly, I'd way rather like sit down with the paper and pencil and like just write.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like the computer, like it just drains. Like it makes me more tired. Like I just feel like it's draining.
Yeah, I definitely think there's truth to that 100%. And then, oh yeah, are you allowed to have phones in the classroom, or how does that work at each of your schools?
So last year we had to like put our phones like in this little like shoe pocket, turn them off every day, and if you found it, then you would get an after school detention or then even a Saturday detention. They were really strict. This year they're not as strict. It's either like put it in your locker, put it in your bag, and if it falls out of your pocket, like you don't get in trouble. Which like I feel so scared because last year, like if it fell out of your pocket or they saw it, you would get like in so much trouble. But like they don't, if they see you using it, they'll take it away and like you'll get it back after school or something.
Yeah, so I feel like my grade is like pretty strict with it. Like you have to have it in your bag, and if like someone sees you using it, they're going to take it and bring it to the office and your parents have to come pick it up. So like people have gotten their phone taken multiple times because they've like been using it. But people like if their computer's up, they like put the phone like behind the computer so no one really like sees it.
People do that all the time.
Yeah. So same with my school. Like they aren't really, honestly, no, because they aren't really that strict about it. Like I've been caught using my phone a couple of times, and like the teacher will be like, "Give it here," but they don't bring it to the office. They just take it to like the end of class and stuff. But like yeah, like I'll put my phone like behind my thing, like behind my computer, and like I'll check stuff on it. But like, but yeah. So like if like say if I refuse to give it to them, they're gonna take it to the office, or if they check, like they'll give us warnings. They'll be like, "Hey, blah blah blah, get off your phone," or like "Get off, stop," and like they're like, "Okay, well now you've used it so many times, like it's going to the office. Your parents can pick it up, or you can come at the end of school." And like I know like some kids like the office will take their phones so they don't use it like all day. Like they'll make them give it to them.
Very interesting. Do you feel like your attention spans are, I guess, shorter or longer depending on the class that you're in and the technology that you have? Like, how would you rate your attention spans?
Yeah, I'd rate mine like an 8. Like I think I'm pretty good at like having a long attention span. Like if the teacher is saying something, then I can listen for a long time. But like if they're talking the whole class, then like it's hard to listen the whole class. Like just like make us do something. Like I'd rather be like writing on paper or something. And it definitely like which class I'm in. Like in math class, it's my strongest subject. I really like math, and I'll be listening the whole time because I feel like especially in math, if you don't get something, like then it's so hard to catch up because like that can be something you can do for the rest of the year, and you really need to know how to do it.
Yeah, I think like it's pretty hard to focus because the teachers are talking most of the time and you're not really like doing any work.
Yeah, I agree with Molly's statement. I can't pay attention in class. It's like bad because like the teachers just talk and they expect us to take it all in one moment because like they'll be talking for 30 minutes and I'll be like, okay, what did I just say? Like it's hard not to like zone off. Like I know I zone off a lot, and like in my math class, like Maddie was talking about math. Personally, like I pay attention sometimes, but like my teacher like doesn't talk that much in math. So like and then like well like I'll figure it out. Like my friends will help me. Like we'll just figure it out, and like they like all my teachers, they talk for so long and it's just tiring. It's like I don't know how they expect me to listen for like 40 minutes and then do a 20-minute assignment, like, and like if I didn't get something, like I can't just raise my hand, like
Yeah, that'll make sense. And the math thing is so true. Like, especially in that subject, I feel like you can get really behind if you miss one thing. Yeah. So I have a couple more questions before we wrap up. The first question, I guess, is like if you had to give advice to adults, like either, I guess, like teachers about what they could do better to like help, like maybe mental health in middle school or just like the experience in middle school, what would that be? And then I have one more question after that.
I would say, first of all, I would say one of the systems like is instead of like some days we'll get like a little bit of homework and some days every single subject will give you a bunch of homework. I would say like either have like one subject day, like Monday math, you get math homework, Tuesday you get like English homework, or just give us like a little bit of less homework. Like if you don't talk as much in class that we can do our work and you don't have to give us homework, just like because homework is like sometimes like we'll be doing it for like hours and hours and it's just so hard.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Like they should have like one day for like one subject, the next for another subject, because I have homework in one class every single day, and it's a packet, so it's multiple. So it's like really hard, and then other teachers give out homework most days, so they should do what she said.
I think that the teachers should make, like, the less work boring. They shouldn't, like, less boring. Like, they shouldn't talk for, like, hours on end. And I really like when we do group work. Like I like talking to my peers. I like,
Yeah.
and that makes me look forward to a class. Like, I'll ask my friend, like, oh, what do we do in, like, social studies? And they're like, oh, we're doing a group work assignment. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I like group work, and I like when, like, the teachers don't talk too much. Like, they let us do it on our own. Like, they let us figure it out, talk to our peers. Like, they let us figure it out. Or, like, I really like when we do, like, kind of, like, not arts and crafts, like, not crafty things, but, like, fun things in, like,
Yes.
class. Like,
But,
say,
like, it has to do with learning.
yeah, like, say in, like, social studies, like, we did this thing where we had to cut out the paper and, like, glue it and, like, match it up and stuff like that. I think that's really fun, and, like, that's probably my favorite day, like, of the year so far. Like,
Yeah.
like, I really like when we do, like, stuff on paper and, like, group work and stuff like that.
Yeah, like stuff with your hands, like tactile stuff, I think. I like that stuff too. I guess, and then just to build off, I had a question around, oh gosh, what was my question? I lost it. It had something to do with what you were all saying. That's okay. It will come back to me. I guess my other question, oh, yeah, here it is. So if they're giving you, like, in each subject, you're getting, like, packets of work each day, and then say if you have, like, an after-school thing, like field hockey or whatever, when do you find the time to do it all? Like, is it before dinner, after dinner, or are you just up late doing homework? What's that all about?
So, like, now, like, when I get home, I'll go on my iPad for, like, a little bit, and then I'll, like, get right to my homework, like, just, like, hopefully, like, do the whole thing. But when I had field hockey, like, it would be, like, end at 5. It would take, like, a long time to get home because of traffic and stuff. And then I would be home at, like, 6. I had to eat dinner, and, like, and then I have, like, a lot of homework. So we'd be up, like, late doing homework, and they, like, don't, like, understand that. Teachers, like, don't get anything. They're like, well, you need to find time to do more homework. You need to find time.
Yeah, I agree. Like, teachers think, like, even if you have something after school, they think, like, you can find time to do it. But, like, yeah, like, when I had after-school stuff like field hockey, we would get home at, like, 6, and then we'd eat dinner, and then I'd have to take a break and stuff, and then do my homework, and it took, like, hours.
Yeah, I agree with that. So basically, I had, like, a club, and then I had one soccer, and then I had, like, a break for an hour, and then I had another soccer, and then like, in that hour, like, I didn't even have time. Like, it wasn't even hours, like, 30 minutes. Like, personally, I was really bad about doing my homework. Like, I had makeup work that I had to do on the weekend, or that, like, if I had a free time, like, in class, I'd have to do that instead of talking to my friends. Because, like, I'd get really behind, and, like, there was nothing I could do about it. Like, I didn't have time to do any of that.
Yeah, that to me seems really stressful. Especially, I guess, like, I must have experienced that, but now when you, as an adult, when you end the workday, it's like, you're done the workday. Like, there's no homework at the end of the day. But for you all, it's like, oh, you're in school for this amount of time, and then, right, you're doing after school stuff. And then it's like your relaxed time is non-existent because then you're doing homework. That's just, like, kind of stressful. So I guess one of my last questions is, if you had to give advice to, like, your past self entering middle school, what would that advice be?
I would just say, like, enjoy elementary school. Like, it's the best time you're gonna have. It's gonna be fun, but then when you get to middle school, it's gonna be, like, so bad. Just, like, have fun.
Yeah, like, I agree with that. Like, enjoy middle school. Enjoy, like, elementary school, because it's going to get harder. And, like, stay focused. Like, don't get behind, or else you'll have, like, a lot of work. So always, like, try to stay focused and don't get behind.
I agree with that, but I'd also tell myself not to focus on grades that much. Like, to focus on it to, like, to a decent amount, but also focus on making friends and stuff. Because, like, say in 6th grade, like, I was really focused about getting, like, straight, like, good grades, nothing bad. And, like, in 7th grade, like, I stopped, like, caring, like, too much. Like, my grades went down a bit, but, like, they're still, like, good grades. Like, I was passing, obviously. But, like, I started to, like, pay more attention to making friends and, like, just, like, having, like, experiences, like, soccer and, like, stuff like that. And, like, clubs and stuff. And I'm, like, just, like, don't put all your work into schoolwork. Because it's not worth it.
Yeah, especially in middle school, I think. Once you hit high school, it gets a little more like accountable, because if you want to go to college or something like that, your grades are, but no one looks at your grades from middle school. But it's still good to get good grades for sure. Cool. And then before we wrap up, is there anything else you wanted to add to the conversation about either just like the school experience, mental health in middle school, or anything else?
Not really.
Yeah, no.
Excellent. This was awesome. Thank you all three for sitting down and talking about this subject. I hope to have you back on soon again. Thank you.